I asked her.
This is the 5-part rhythm series that I have introduced as a part of your basic training to help you better understand rhythms and also to be grounded. Did you enjoy that? Okay, cool. Now this is very important in Indian music and dance, right? To have the rhythms and cross rhythms. So let's practice it one more time. But this time I want you to stand up tall, keep your feet together all the way through if you can. Okay? Try a little bit harder. Okay, here we go. Ready? Dhalam kutakati kutakatati kitatom ta ki ta di ki ta ta ki ta di ki ta tom ki ta na ki ta ta ka. Bring me 2 times slow. Ka jol and then 4 fast. Ta ka ding ta ka jol no ta ka ding ta ka jol no ta ka ta. Nice, nice. But stand a little bit taller. There you go. Taka, takita, taka, no slouching. Taka, takita, taka, tikita, taka. Give me 7 beats. Takita, taka, give me, kumkita, taka, give me. Stay with everybody. Yeah, don't speed up. Taka, give me, takita, taka, don't keep them 9. Taka, give me, taka, takita. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Taka, give me second beat. Taka, give me, taka, takita. There you go. Taka, takita, taka, give me, taka, takita.
Did your guru teach you this?
My guru was Swami Malay Rajaratnam, and he was an amazing singer. It was such a pleasure to dance to his singing every day in class. And he composed many compositions for dance and also set to music several songs suited for dance. Now, one of his pieces that I'm particularly fond of and is actually a masterpiece is the Dashavataram, a composition of the 16th century poet Annamacharya. What is so special about that is that the stories of the 10 incarnations are told not to the literary text but to rhythmic sequences. It's really quite interesting and unique. So anybody like to see it? Okay, here we go. Tadimita kita taka taka tari taka jam. Tadimita kita taka tari taka jam. Ta taka tati kita tunta. Taka tati kita tunta. Taka tati kita tunta. So did you all notice that it was in a 5-beat cycle called Kanta Chaputaram, which is very unique and rare in compositions. And it was about the incarnation of Vishnu as anybody? Anybody? And his name in Sanskrit? Would anybody know?
Matsya.
Perfect. Good job. Okay, I think I'll see you guys next week. And in the meantime, practice, practice, and practice. Namaste, namaste.
It was August 1995, and I was in Orange County, California. I was very curious. I had just arrived from Australia, and it was very interesting to me because I had always learned from a male guru. He had been a student of Arya Lakshman from the Kalakshetra tradition, and it was a very masculine form that I learned. So I was very curious, what would it be like to learn from a female guru. And Ramya seemed like the perfect example. So I wanted to study her and find out more about what was going on in the classroom. So there I was watching, and I was curious. I wanted to ask her, is the next series, the Natadavus, just as mine are Natadavus? I asked her. They yung
Yeah,
da,
it involves
they yung da,
the leg extending out from your body.
they yung da.
That's right.
She agreed. Yes, we were actually doing very similar things. But I remember my training had been very tough. I remember my guru had said, don't forget, when your eyes go to the side, your hand must follow. When your hand follows, your leg must go there. It was very difficult to coordinate everything. I remember thinking, how am I supposed to remember to not only move my hand, but shake my hand, turn it around, and at the same time turn my eyes and go there, and my head, and then my feet, and sit in Aramandi. The Aramandi position was very tough. Second Natadavu. Seemed like we were doing that also very similarly. The second Natadavu was just a double of the first. Going back to sitting in Aramandi, I remember my knees would start hurting just like they are right now. It's getting a bit tough standing up and dancing after sitting down and writing for such a long time. I found it very difficult to do that actually. To sit and then stand and dance again. The third Natadavu, of course, had a little flip on it. Now we learned how to balance ourselves on one foot and shift and up and down. This was even tougher than what we had learned before. My knees are really starting to hurt now. I don't think I can stay in this position for much longer. I'm going to shift to the next one. I asked her, is this your fifth Natadavu? She said, yes, of course it is. So we moved on further to the sixth. Yum, da, yum, da. No,
That's
she
what
said.
I do differently.
Yeah,
You
she
got to
said,
start from the top and bring it down.
ah, I thought,
Yeah, kind of like you're chopping wood or something. Yeah, that's the way.
I found myself unable to actually do this step anymore. I couldn't keep rhythm, but I wanted to impress her because here she was, a guru, and I was trying to research her and prove myself to be an able dancer. But it was very tough to go backward. My guru had been very particular about rules. We could not break rules in the class. We could not do things differently to what he suggested. Whenever he started moving towards us to adjust us, we would find ourselves moving backward, not allowing him to touch our bodies. When he made us stop. The next Adavu, I said to Ramya, Te yum da. That's our eighth one, I said. Is that your eighth?
No, we don't do this as part of Natadavu.
Te yum da. She didn't do it as part of a Natadavu? What does that mean? Where
What
would
I
it go?
do is a clock series.
Da.
And it goes like this. Te yum da da. Te yum. Te yum da da. Te yum. Te yum da da. That's how I learned from my guru, Dakshinamurti.
Did she say guru? I think I better go write that down.
Yum da da. Te yum da. He belonged to the Tanjore style. But he did the same thing. Sit down, sit down, sit down. And hit harder. And they were cement floors. Really hard. And I hadn't developed calluses at that time. Well, there's one thing that I have to say constantly in my class, which he never said and couldn't say, was tuck your bum in. My guru, Dakshinamurti, would say to me, doesn't your dad have a pharmacy or something? Why don't you go get some tonic? I told my mom, I want to give up dancing. But she said, it's not an option. Then I moved to Chennai, to Swami Malay Rajaratnam. He practiced the Varur style of Bharatanatyam. But he never changed anything. He let me do what I had been doing from the beginning. Only later I realized I was doing a hybrid of intervals. Chennai was 30 degrees centigrade all year round and 150% humidity. Our clothes were like second skin stuck to our bodies, and we had to peel them off after class.
I remember the sweat on my body too, when my dance teacher would instruct us, telling us, you have to work these rhythms differently, he would say. It has to be harder, 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 slap your feet harder, he said. Are you doing a jati? Are you creating it? What is the tala structure, I wondered. I wanted her to start and I wanted to follow her as soon as she began the jati.
This is a Rupakatalam Jati.
6 beat?
Yeah, there you go. 2, 3. So the first cycle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but the 6th beat is silent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on.
Yes.
3, 3, 3, 3,
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2,
breaks
3.
down to 2, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Can we try
1,
that?
Yeah.
Together? Go.
1, 2, 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
So let's just do the last part of it,
Yeah.
which is called the korapa, which
Yes.
is repeated 3 times.
I found something a bit different.
1,
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It was a doubling. What a fantastic way to use rhythm. Very different to my teachers. Although my teacher did emphasize that we should focus on rhythm, he was also very much interested in using space. Space to jump. After all, I was from Melbourne, Australia. And he said, Australia is a big, expansive country. You need to learn how to jump across the country. You need to jump higher and higher and higher.